Have you ever held on to something so tightly, believing that time itself would one day reward your patience? Have you ever waited for words you thought would come, promises you believed would be fulfilled, or love you hoped would one day be returned? This story is about a woman who waited a lifetime, only to discover that the truth she longed for arrived far too late. But within her pain lies a lesson, a reminder for all of us that life does not wait forever, and neither should we. Her name was Margaret. She lived in a small town in Virginia, the kind of place where everyone knew each other's names, where neighbors exchanged pies over white fences, and where the passing of the mailman down the street was still an event worth noticing. Margaret was quiet, soft-spoken, and always gentle in the way she carried herself. To many, she seemed like the woman who lived an ordinary life, but behind her calm eyes, she carried a secret hope, a flame that had been burning since her youth. When Margaret was just 18, she fell deeply in love with a young man named William. William was tall, confident, and filled with the kind of dreams that reached far beyond the borders of their small town. He wanted to see the world, to make a name for himself, to do more than what the simple countryside could offer. But amidst all his ambition, he cared for Margaret. He once told her, "I'll be back for you. Wait for me. No matter where life takes me, I'll return. And when I do, we'll have the life we've dreamed of." For Margaret, those words were everything. She clung to them as if they were scripture. She believed in them so deeply that when William left town to pursue his dreams, she promised herself she would wait no matter how long it took. Years went by. At first, she received letters. They were filled with stories of cities she had never seen, of opportunities he was chasing, of the struggles and victories of his new life. Every time a letter arrived, Margaret's heart would race. She would sit by the window, tear it open carefully, and read it until the words blurred from the tears of joy in her eyes. Those letters were her lifeline, her reason to believe that William would one day return. But then, slowly, the letters stopped coming. 1 month passed, then 3, then a year. Still, Margaret waited. Neighbors whispered that William had moved on, that he had found someone else, that his promises were only words carried away by the wind of his ambitions. But Margaret refused to believe it. She trusted William's voice, his eyes, his promise. She held on. The seasons turned into decades. Margaret never married. She lived alone in the same little house where she had first dreamed of her future with William. People in town pitied her. Some even ridiculed her for waiting on a man who was never coming back. But Margaret didn't mind. She had made a promise to herself, and in her heart, she still believed he would keep his. She grew older, her once dark hair turned silver, her hands grew fragile, and her steps became slower. Yet, her heart remained the same, the heart of a young woman waiting for her love to return. Every day she sat by the window, her eyes watching the road, hoping that perhaps the next car, the next stranger, the next knock on her door would be William. And then, one morning, when Margaret was 75 years old, something unexpected happened. A letter arrived. The handwriting on the envelope was shaky but unmistakable. It was William's. With trembling hands, Margaret tore it open. Inside, she found words that froze her heart. William confessed that he had loved her all along. He admitted that life had carried him far, that he had made mistakes, and that he had let fear and pride keep him from returning. He wrote, "I never stopped thinking about you. I should have come back. I should have kept my promise. But I was a coward, and I let time slip through my fingers. I am sorry, Margaret. I hope you can forgive me." The letter was dated only a few months earlier. But there was another note tucked inside, written by someone else. It was from William's son. He explained that William had passed away shortly after writing that letter. The son had found it among his belongings and decided to send it to the woman whose name had been spoken so often. By his father, in his final days, Margaret held the letter to her chest and wept. The truth she had been waiting for had finally come, but it was too late. The man she had loved her whole life had loved her too. But they had both allowed time and silence to rob them of their chance at happiness together. That night, as she sat by the window with the letter in her hands, Margaret whispered to herself, "I waited a lifetime, but I waited too long." This is where the story shifts, because Margaret's pain holds a message for you and me. How often do we wait, believing that tomorrow will always come? How often do we hold back our words, thinking there will be another chance to say, "I love you," or "I'm sorry," or "I forgive you"? Margaret's life teaches us that time is not infinite. Love unspoken is love wasted. Regret is the price we pay when we choose silence over courage. The people we love are not guaranteed to be here forever, and the moments we hesitate on may never return. So let this story remind you of one truth. If you have something to say it now. If you have someone you love, show them now. Do not wait for a tomorrow that may never come. Because one day, the letter you've been waiting for may arrive, but by then, it could already be too late. And as you reflect on Margaret's story, ask yourself who in your life needs to hear your words today. Who deserves to feel your love now, while there is still time? Life is fleeting, but love is powerful when it is lived in the present, not postponed for the future. Do not wait a lifetime. Do not let the truth arrive too late. Choose courage. Choose love. Choose now.